Welcome to Shooting the Frizbreeze with your hosts, Jake and Randy, discussing all things freestyle frisbee and whatever else that comes up. All right. Ba-doop.
Love it, love it. Well, welcome to Shooting the Frizbreeze with Jake and Randy. We're doing a live session here at Sunbreak. How do you feel about that today, Jake?
I'm so excited. This has been an amazing event. We've had so much fun, and Ryan always comes up with these innovative formats that just challenge the brain. So it's like freestyle magic, brain magic. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And it really is amazing what you do for all of us, and that you keep pushing the envelope, and you did the dial system here with part of the pairs yesterday, and this whole follow the leader was actually kind of exhausting, doing it all. So why don't you tell us, where did you come up with this stuff, and how does this come to life for you?
Well, how I think about it is like a fashion show. So it's, you go to a fashion show and people are wearing all these crazy clothes, and then those designers take what they see and design it into their normal clothes that everyone wears.
Right.
So I don't feel afraid going as extreme as I can.
Right.
But what I do in my free time is I watch a lot of other people's world championships on YouTube, like climbing or shooting or any other discipline.
Right.
And they have these interesting mechanics that they use to judge their sport. And I'm like, why don't we try those out? Like in half pipe, you get 3 attempts. Or in shooting, you cut the lowest people every round.
Right.
Like, those just seem like interesting mechanics for a freestyle experience.
Yeah. So what did you think about that, Jake? What did you think about these 2 experiments?
I liked both of them. I think I liked the follow the leader one a little bit more because it was a lot more strategically challenging, but it was also fun to see other people's moves and then to figure out, can I really replicate those moves or not? How deep is my game really? I think this was good at testing people's depth of game.
Yeah, well, I think it was also cool because you had to know who was in your group, and you could identify somebody as I think they can do that. I don't think the other people can. So you and Pavel, you guys are skid masters. And I don't do any eating of skids at all. So I was I'm not in a good situation here.
Well, every combination that I did, I had at least one person in mind that I thought could replicate it.
Right.
And so that was my strategy.
Yeah. What's funny is that I actually did the UD one thinking that you would be able to replicate it and not Pavel. And Pavel actually did it cleaner.
He
right?
did. I know.
Yeah.
He did it way better. I was totally out of control.
Yeah. So do you have any plans for next year's Sunbreak, or are you just kind of going to let that formulate for a while and let it brew?
Kind of let it brew. Talk to people, see what they liked about this year, and try and incorporate those pieces. No plans yet. Maybe a small teaser is some kind of variety type event.
Cool.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, and also next year, I think there's going to be a Worlds here in Seattle that we'll be honored to have you running. That's correct, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
Are we doing both Sunbreak and Worlds?
That is still up in the air. I know the U.S. Open is also going to be in late June, so we're going to see how the weekends fall.
Right.
With diff, yes, with diff.
Yeah, right, with diff. All right, well. Yeah, well.
Because people can't hear me when I don't have the mic, so I was asking whether Worlds and Sunbreak would take place, and it sounds like we're not sure yet. But also the Whiff Diff event is taking place in Richmond, Virginia next year sometime in June.
Oh, that's right.
So there's a lot going on in the U.S. around summertime with Frisbee. So
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
So do we think that will attract a lot of players to Worlds, having so many events?
It may, for like the younger European crowd that wants to spend the whole summer here. They can definitely do the full U.S. tour if they wanted to.
Yeah. That would be great to have the kind of like when it was in Seattle last time. There was quite a European contingent that came, and then they kind of did the vacationing down the California coast and hitting all the epic jam spots of historical reference. Right.
Yep. I have 2 free bedrooms open, so
gotta like
send
that.
me a message.
Awesome. That's great.
And I got to say, Ryan is an amazing host. He makes you breakfast. He makes you fancy dinners. He cooks some crazy homemade desserts and ice cream, and it's just like you don't really get it much better. So
Right.
stay at Ryan's house if you have that option.
Yeah, and I will say his homemade ice cream is something not to be missed. I mean, it's crazy good. So, and you wonder why that smile is always? It's because he's got the ice cream in the freezer at all times. That's what it is. So anyways, dude, thank you so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for this wonderful experience here at 60 Acres in Woodinville. And we're going to let you go because we're going to bring somebody else over to the table. So thank you, my friend.
Should we have Ryan go get Pavel?
Yeah, so we're going to bring over Pavel. How do you say his last name?
Baranyk,
Baranyk?
I guess.
I don't
That's
know.
my
Well,
best-
now that
that's
we
my
have
best guess.
him coming, he can actually make it happen.
What's happening?
Oh, am I getting? Oh, all right. So we're going to bring in the Follow the Leader champion to Shootin' the Frizbreeze, the live version. He's visiting us from San Francisco via Prague, the Czech Republic. So, dude, welcome to Sunbreak, and we're almost done. And congratulations on your Follow the Leader championship inaugural. Dong, 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 dong.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would especially thank to Ryan for making this happen. This is for
Totally.
the first time I'm in Seattle. I'm super happy to be here. Finally, after 2 years of living in San Francisco, it was long due, and finally I was able to make it here. So fantastic! Thank you for great jamming, fun competition, and yeah, overall tons of fun.
Wow, I didn't realize it was his first time here in Seattle. It seems like you always are here, but you're not. Maybe it's
in spirit.
in spirit.
spirit.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and he also won pairs with Ryan. So you're the champion of Sunbreak 2018. You
Wow.
got the highest finish, basically.
Yeah, the overall Sunbreak champion. And we didn't get much sunbreak here. There's a lot of clouds, but you know what? You really brought the sunshine from just being here. So, yeah.
So which was the most challenging move in the Follow the Leader event?
That's a good question. I think that probably Randy's move.
Wow.
The back roll. I think the key for this game is really to break down all the moves. So like when I saw it for the first time, I was like, wow, this is gonna be difficult. But then when you think about it, okay, first I do this one and make sure, and you can basically pause after each move, right? And then okay, now the next one and the next one. Suddenly it's not that difficult. But I think overall that was probably the most difficult one. Like the wind here is quite tricky, and that back roll can end up in all different sorts of places.
If
so
you get off to a good start, then the rest of it
then
is
the
all
rest
there.
Is okay,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But yeah, that was probably the most difficult one.
Well, what's interesting is I was telling Jake earlier, it's like I actually was designing that move to take you down. And you did it easier than Jake. So that totally backfired on my strategy. But yeah.
I still got it, though.
You did, but you know, Pavel
was
kind of
trying.
did like a smooth, buttery scone, and you kind of did like a little bit of burnt toast or something. Yeah.
Very accurate. though,
Yes,
very
yeah.
accurate.
What was your most challenging move, Jake?
Well, it was the one that Mike did that I wasn't able to complete. That weird turnover. I don't know.
Yeah.
That,
Ye-
When you do it, it doesn't. I'm looking at Mike now. When you do it, it doesn't look that hard, but it turns out that's pretty freaking hard to turn it all the way over and then turn it right back over in one motion. So, props to you.
Yeah, that was the most challenging one for me too. I couldn't get my wrists out of the way. That was the problem. I was like, oh, those wrists keep getting in the way. Like, dang.
You have some
But
big burly wrists.
I don't know. Wait a second. That doesn't look too burly. I don't know. So,
Actually, maybe I made a mistake. The most challenging was Juliana's move, the twisto. I've never done a twisto before. So yeah, that was definitely a challenging one. And I thanks to this game, I discovered a new move that I can actually do.
right. Actually, I would say that's probably one of the benefits of this game is that I tried moves that I never would have tried. Like, I never had done a juice before until out there.
Really? That was your first juice?
First
That's
juice.
funny. I thought that you had done so many juices. I
Well,
was like,
I've
oh.
drank apple juice and orange juice, but I've never done jam juice.
So I would also say that this game is really, really good for practicing. When we started in Prague, we would jam, and then at the end of the jam, we would just challenge each other, and we would play basically a similar type of a game, just that you try to do the move that no one can make, right?
Right.
And then we would be like, oh, I made this new move that I worked on, and then everyone was like, oh yeah, fuck, I need to make it happen as well, and we would be just going and going, you know,
Right.
in like hardcore practice, right? But it
Yeah.
was this fun version of it that we were challenging each other, that I think in the end made us improve really quickly.
Yeah.
and learn a lot of new different moves.
Yeah,
So it's a great practice.
I
exercise.
totally agree, because like I say, we are doing moves that we wouldn't have done. We kind of get locked into our own worlds, you know. You kind of like, this is how I move around the disc, and not really kind of look at how other people do things, like Mike's weird turnover or the juice or any of that, you know, back roll stuff I do. So yeah, yeah, very, very, very true.
So before we let you go, Pavel, are you going to Worlds?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to Worlds.
Yes.
That would be, I don't know what would have to happen to miss it. Seriously.
It's kind of
Yeah,
your
it's
neck
like-
of the woods, right?
Yeah. So actually, in fact, Christy, my wife, is from Slovakia, so it's gonna be kind of a home turf, actually, at all. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm super psyched. I think it's gonna be epic tournament. Big props to all the Czech guys who are making it
Yeah.
happen, and I know they're working their asses off.
Yo.
And
yeah.
it's gonna be worth it.
So who are your partners?
So in pairs, I play with Chega.
Ooh.
And, yeah, that's gonna be fun. And just as much fun it's gonna be with Ryan and Dave Schiller for the
Wow.
for the co-op.
Wow, that's an
So-
interesting co-op team. Talk about 3 diverse and different styles. Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Have you guys been practicing the co-op?
Yeah, we met 2 weeks ago in San
Oh,
Diego.
cool.
It was kind of tricky because the conditions there can be amazing, and we intentionally went to parks where the wind was really terrible.
That's
But
good.
like we were like, yeah, we cannot prepare in these fantastic conditions that we have in San Diego, because they will just most likely not happen.
Right.
And so yeah, we intentionally prepared in a lot worse conditions, and I can't wait to do that routine in the competition.
Awesome. I had no idea that you 3 were going to team up, so that's pretty cool. And Chega, I mean, wow, that's going to be monstrous as well. So, yeah. So, well,
That's it for me.
Yeah,
Maybe we should
so
let Pavel get back to
why
the
don't you
gym.
get back out there and jam? We're going to come and join you shortly. So we're going to wrap this up here really
Oh,
quick.
Mike's gonna
So
come and do the
I like it.
closing
We're going to get the
announcement.
live closing. So Jake, it's always a pleasure to do this with you. I know we're taking a little bit of a pause, but we will have a podcast next week with the organizers of Prague, of Slovakia's
Yeah.
Worlds coming up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, and it's almost like we're not taking a pause because this is this next Sunday, and then
Right.
we got one next
I
week.
know,
We
right?
just keep on rolling.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. So, on that note, I'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to Shooting the Frizbreeze with your host, Jake and Randy. For more information, check us out at frisbeeguru.com. Home to Haynesville, shooting the Frizbreeze, and live streaming freestyle frisbee. Oh yeah!
Love it. See y'all later.
We're gonna go jam. Thanks for watching,
Bye-bye.
guys.